It's a really pleasure to receive all of you here. On behalf of the 40th International IUPAC Conference on Green Chemistry Organizing Committee, as its General Secretary, I would like to give a very warm welcome to all participants. First of all, I thank our sponsors and supporters. So, I will read. National Council of Technological and Scientific Development. Coordination for the Improvement of Higher Education Personnel. State of São Paulo Research Foundation. Itaipu Binational. Petrobras. The Brazilian Government. Federal University of São Carlos. Federal University of Paraná. National University of La Plata. Braskem. Green Center Canada. PURAC, Tetra Pak, CBMM, LATEC, Natura, Oxiteno, SYNC, Superlab, Abicot, ICS, RSC, CRQ4, Atomo Publishing, Elsevier, Latam, Maxitec, Neurica, Vitanova, Haroldo Paulo Jr. Images, Best Music, contributors of the Culture Project FAI-UFSCar, ABEC, and ABIKIM. Also, I would like to say thanks to all the committees, especially the executive one. So, you did a brilliant job. It's important to understand the historical context of the fourth ICGC as part of a series that started in 2006 in Dresden, Germany. As observed by Professor Tundo, the chair of the first ICGC, green chemistry is innovative because it is not necessarily connected to profits. It involves fundamental aspects and does not aim automatically at an industrial process. There is a great need to create a new type of chemistry focused on a new production system and utilization of chemical derivatives in order to prepare the younger generation to reach a greener future. As can be seen, Professor Tundo's statement is more valid than ever. And also, I am pleased to announce that you have the opportunity to listen to Professor Tundo's talk tomorrow at 10 o'clock, titled Designing of a Chemistry Beyond Chlorine. The second ICGC occurred in 2008 aboard the ship Alexander Radishev, traveling from Moscow to St. Petersburg, Russia. It was like now, time to act and reflect. The third ICGC was held in Ottawa, Canada, with the theme, The Road to Green Industry. Bring together academia and industry to trade ideas about green chemistry was the purpose of the meeting, as pointed out by Professor Chesop, the chair of the last ICGC. So, to follow the tradition, this fourth conference here, we try to bring together the ICGC history, all the areas of chemistry and their related fields, as well as its sectors, academia, industry, government, and chemistry societies all over the world. We attract around 500 participants of the 4 continents, and also we would like to transform the fourth ICGC into a possibility to experience the scientific and the environmental dimensions toward a greener and ethical life. It's not possible to talk about ethics without mentioning the thoughts of Aristotle. It asked, his definition of middle term that make us reflect on the difficulties of having a balanced behavior in relation to ourselves, our environment, and others. The middle term represents the balance of thoughts and actions. and excesses or deficiencies are its mortal enemies. Thus, a virtuous researcher is someone who tries to exercise the middle term. Here, in the fourth ICGC, we aim to create a scientific and cultural atmosphere to touch all the participants deeply in order to promote a continuous reflection of our scientific practices with social environmental responsibility and in an individual and collective sphere. The event was thought to show the essence of a new perspective of knowledge, knowledge production, be it in the construction of a scientific and cultural program, be it in the choice of the materials, most of them recyclable and made within the solidarity economy scope. The theme of the conference, exchanging experiences toward a sustainable society, taking care of natural resources in their socio-economic development, expresses our aim. As the earliest conferences, I wish the experience of the fourth ICGC will be remembered as a stimulate event for our present and future scientific thoughts and actions. Before passing the word, I would like to announce that, unfortunately, we were informed recently that Professor Sharpless is unable to attend this conference. Now, I would like to introduce Professor Correa, the chair of the ICGC. Please. Yeah.
Thank you, Vania. It's too high. Sorry. Good evening, everyone. It's a dream. We are here. On behalf of the organizing committee, I'd like to welcome you all to the 4th International IUPAC Conference on Green Chemistry. The main idea of bringing this conference to South America was raised in 2009 by the members of the project Sustainable Education and Environmental Development in Latin America, which was sponsored by IUPAC and coordinated by Professor Patricia Vasquez and Vania Zwin. The main idea of this project was to disseminate the green chemistry in all Latin American countries. I think we are starting this now. 20 years ago, when the world's leaders pledged to protect Earth, climate, and biodiversity at the Real Earth Summit, the so-called ECHO 92, they knew it would not be easy, but few could guess how much worse the situation could be. In 1992, the atmosphere held fewer than 306 parts per million of carbon dioxide. The concentration now is near 400. At the same time, species are disappearing at an accelerated rate. 2 months ago, the United Nations Conference on Sustainable Development was held in Rio de Janeiro again. The so-called Rio +20 declaration titled "The Future We Want" was considered by many a weak and meaningless document. Certainly, there are reasons why the conference fell short. Economic and political crisis on the global stage, the challenge of taking on complex issues, and the struggle of coming in a unanimous decision among the diverse views. These challenges are real, but they should not be an excuse for a nation. Nevertheless, the conference also produced hundreds of commitments to specific and measurable sustainability actions from companies, individual governments, colleges and universities, non-profit organizations, among others. For example, nearly 300 institutions of higher learning from across the world said they would place sustainable development at the heart of the college and university curricula. This means that sustainability studies will be incorporated into all majors, from chemistry to business administration. Observers expect that these commitments will have a major influence on the market, the environment, and society, with a potentially larger impact than the relatively weak UN agreement. This week, we have a chance to craft a workable green chemistry agenda. But the elusive key to success lies in finding a way to overturn the widespread reluctance to make the necessary investments in time, money, and intellect to get the job done. Since the beginning of 2010, we have been working very, very hard to make this conference possible, especially Professor Vânia Zuin. The fourth ICGC brings together the academic, industrial, governmental, and non-governmental sectors in order to promote a more profound and extensive discussions on the several aspects of the green chemistry. We are sure that the scientific program will be a great success, since we have been fortunate in having a most distinguished state of speakers whom we would like to thank for their willingness to take part of this event. We have tried to prepare a mixture of plenary, invited, and short lectures, which should cover all that is relevant and interesting at the moment in chemistry. We think that the post-section are one of the highest points of the conference, when younger and more experienced researchers can really get to meet each other. Finally, but not least, I'd like to thank our sponsors, especially the Brazilian financial agencies, to underwrite the financial obligations of this conference. The organizing committee, as well as our friends, is more than ready to help you with any problem which might appear. We hope you have a wonderful time in Foz do Iguaçu. Thank you very much for coming.
The next speaker is Professor Ferreira, the Vice Chair of the 4th ICGC.
Dear professors, students, official authorities present at the 4th International IUPAC Conference on Green Chemistry. It's a great honor for me to be here as President of the Brazilian Chemical Society in this opening ceremony. And on behalf of the SBQ, I would like to welcome everyone and congratulate the organizing committee, scientific committee that are bringing to us this magnificent meeting with a program of a high level at this beautiful place. I would like to also to give a special congratulations to Professor Arlene Correia, Patricia Vasquez, and Vânia Zuin, that under their leadership and professional work made it possible to us to be here enjoying this event. We all know how important are conferences, meetings, and workshops, national or international, but may not know how much time they consume from the organizing. Our event needs money, and nowadays it's not easy to obtain. However, looking carefully at the list of the responsible, we can see chemical and instrument companies, funding agencies, universities, and scientific societies. In this regard, I would like to thank the IUPAC that has been long maintaining a close relationship to us in event and other subjects in chemistry. Green chemistry is the more important area in the green economy for the sustainable world. Through the design of chemical products and processes, they are more environment beginning, it will lead to better world. The future that we want was the title of the main document discussed 2 months ago in the Earth Summit 2012, the so-called Rio+20. In the allusion of the 20th anniversary of the United Nations Conference on the Environment and Development, also known Rio 92. The Rio 92 Summit, with its 27 principles, has been the most influential one because beyond the environment itself, it places human beings as the focus of the sustainable development, bringing us for discussion issues such as hunger, food production, disease, disarmament, and racial problems. The green chemistry can help to solve many of these problems by reducing or eliminating the hazardous substances associated with designing better chemical process, synthesis, catalysis, analysis, monitoring, separation, and more adequate material in many other areas as listed in the abstract book of this meeting. Indeed, green chemistry already had contributed greatly to the green economy and will represent in the near future great opportunity for jobs and the expansion of the world economy. Finally, I wish the participants a productive days with many possible jointly projects and publications between the students and professors participating in this important event for the future of green chemistry in the world. Thank everyone for the attention, and I wish you in Foz do Iguaçu a great time.
Now, I would like to invite Professor Felipe, representing the President of the Coordination for the Improvement of Higher Education person, to say some words. Please, Professor.
Hello. Good evening. On behalf of CAPES, the Brazilian National Funding Agency for Education, Science and Technology, I'd like to greet Professor Arlene Correa, in name of whom I'd like to address my compliments for every one of you. At the same time, it's important to stress the importance of having this kind of Congress where you are addressing 3 things. And I'd like to address also these 3 things. The first one is the worries that we have to have with the education in our countries. What are you doing and what are we in our national funding agencies doing in order to improve the education? Since we have the need of prepare our children for studies, we have to have a basic education in a best way, and for that, the chemistry and the sciences are quite important. And in the process of preparing our children in our basic education, it's necessary to improve our universities, our postgraduate courses, and at the same time to have this presented for preparing the teachers in our basic education. The second thing is related to research. And for that, it's interesting to see how much we have to get a good research when we have interdisciplinary process on the way of doing research. It's not common to see interdisciplinary approaches in many of our researchers. And this is something that can be not useful when we lose the opportunity of getting expertise and at the same time new ideas and maybe some kind of questions when we have people from several disciplines, from several processes in these researches. And the third address is that at this moment, CAPES, the national funding agency in Brazil for education, science, and technology, is preparing a discussion in the end of this year on interdisciplinary and transdisciplinarity in education, environment, and health. Understanding that it's necessary to bring about all the disciplines for this process. I repeat, education, environment, and health. And chemistry, as other disciplines, has a very important role in the process of getting a better health in our cities, in our countries, for our society. Then, my compliments for the organization, Professor Vânia Zwin, that is an important person in the environmental science at CAPES also, as a consultant for that agency. And I believe that the things that you are going to discuss in this conference, like green chemistry education and interdisciplinary approaches on that, you are facing the problems we have in these discussions. And I'm sure that you are going to get good proposals in how are we going to improve the activities we have. Just one information for the foreigners that are here with us. We have in Brazil at this time 5,004 graduate courses, and we have these courses all over the country in the 27 states of Brazil, and we are preparing around 154,000 students, master's degrees and PhD students every year. And this is something that is, of course, doing a good job, but at the same time, we need more approaches on these issues, as I mentioned before. Then I wish you a very good conference here, and I hope the results of this Congress can help and can provide good ideas and innovation for the process of researching, training, and a good postgraduate education. Thank you very much. Have a nice time in Foz do Iguaçu.
Thanks, Professor. I'd like to invite Professor Targino Araújo, the Dean of the Federal University of São Carlos.
Well, good evening. I would like, first of all, to welcome all of you, as our Federal University of São Carlos is the organizer of this event. And I would like also to give a special welcome to the foreigners who are here for these days, and I hope you have a nice stay here in our country. I must confess you that we are very pleased of being the organizers of this conference, and that I was very impressed with the content of this conference and this possibility of bringing together academia, government sectors, industries, and I also think that it's a very important opportunity, and I'm sure that after this event, the results that you are going to discuss here will have an impact not only on our lives, but on the whole planet. So I would like to congratulate Arlene, who is the chair, and Professor Vânia, who is the General Secretary of this event, and also for the organization, because although UFSCar is far away from here, they have the worry of bringing UFSCar to this event. For example, the bags that you have received, they were made by women who work in a popular cooperative that is incubated in our university. Also, the music that you're going to hear during the days here were especially organized by an extension project that we have in our university. As a matter of fact, as I read the program, the content, I remembered of a slogan that you use in our university, that it has academic excellence with social commitment. And I think this event shows this perspective, and I'm sure that we will have a good experience. I would like to conclude to add that the fact of having this event here in Foz do Iguaçu, where we have a triple border, and here in Latin America, it's very important. After all, the biodiversity of the world, almost 50% is in Latin America. And I'm sure that the work that is being done here by the different universities will have a lot to contribute for the country, for the world as a whole. So I wish you all a very good event and a good stay here in Brazil. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Professor. Now, I will introduce Professor Tundo, one of the most important founders of the ICGC series and the IUPAC representative.
Yeah, I think so. It's okay. Is a pointer? It is a great pleasure for me and an honor to open on behalf of IUPAC this fourth conference on chemistry. This fourth event follows the conference held in Dresden in 2006, then in Moscow, St. Petersburg in 2008, and in Ottawa in 2010. From this all so crowded, I think that our proposal, the proposal for IUPAC, was very successful. And this is particularly was possible thanks to the particular efforts done from Professor Vânia Zhuin and Korea, and all the organization of Brazil. We believed in that when 2 years ago, Professor Zhuin proposed to hold the conference in Foz do Iguaçu. We strongly supported this idea, and particularly her, because the young people, so respect to me, of course, needed to be supported and by the more experienced persons. So it is a pleasure for me, and I'm honored and proud to open on behalf of IUPAC this conference. Also, I have the data to show you how IUPAC works, and also to encourage you to submit a project to IUPAC. Almost an half of the budget of IUPAC is spent in projects. So you will see that they are open to the invention to all the people, not only the IUPAC bodies or IUPAC people. This is the first. I have a few slides to show you. This is IUPAC. The next one shows. Oh, sorry. I have. Okay. All right. IUPAC mission. IUPAC is the world bigger organization in chemistry. IUPAC mission is to advance worldwide aspect to the chemical science and to contribute to the application. I can read it here, okay. Application of chemistry in the service of mankind. Promotes norms, value, ethics of science, advocates free exchange of scientific information and access to scientists. Address global issue as a scientific, international, and non-governmental objective body. IUPAC member countries are represented here in the world. The red represents the national othering organizations, and the green one are associated national othering organizations. But also people, organizations which support IUPAC also. All right. Are also associated organizations and the company associated. So this is the body which allows IUPAC to work for the scientific community. IUPAC organization is organized, how IUPAC works in divisions. Division are 8 divisions, physical, biophysical chemistry, anorganic chemistry, organic biomolecular chemistry, polymer chemistry, analytical, chemistry and environment, chemistry, human health, chemical nomenclature, and the structural representation. In addition, there are committees, permanent committees, established committees, for example, Committee on Chemistry and Industry, COSI, is very important, Committee on Chemistry Education, Chemical Committee, of which Professor Sidney's as chairman is here present, Committee on Printed and Electronic Publications. Major IUPAC activity is development of language of chemistry, nomenclature, standardizations, data presentation, study, critical evaluation of physical data, atomic weight, nomenclature, of course, okay, this is very important. Everybody knows IUPAC through the nomenclature of the books, red, yellow, green books about nomenclature or inorganic, organic, say, analytical, etc. And data exchange, standards for computers and instruments, sponsorship of conference. For example, these are a series of conferences only in chemistry, but there are many series of conferences in chemistry sponsored by IUPAC. Usually is biannual events. But IUPAC holds the Congress biannually. In particular, the last ones were in Turin, Glasgow, San Juan, and in Puerto Rico. And the next one will be in Istanbul. So there are more than 30 specialty symposium, industrial safety, and Chevron, as I showed you, reported you before. So project. I would like to encourage you to submit a project to IUPAC. Everybody can submit a project to IUPAC about nomenclature, terminology, validation of data, standard methods, procedure, education, and any subject that requires development and consensus among chemistry worldwide. For more information, you can see the website here, how to submit the project, how to complete the formats. It's very simple to submit, to write the project. If you have an idea, okay, try to write, to put your idea in a project of IUPAC. Then you send the project to IUPAC Secretariat. You are not needed to submit it through a peer person, through a division, through a Chevron, through everywhere, okay? But just send to IUPAC Secretariat your project. This will be evaluated, submitted to the right committee, and financed, okay? If the project is good, of course. Company associated programs is another activity of IUPAC which try to put together chemistry worldwide. This is especially done by COSI. This is the Committee for Chemical Industries. It's the right connection between chemistry and industry through IUPAC. Affiliate membership program. Individuals may become affiliate IUPAC through affiliate membership program. This more information are here, of course, but if you will be an affiliated person, you have a subscription to be monthly magazine Chemistry International, discount, registration, etc., access to international network. And very often you have the opportunity to know the people working in IUPAC, okay? And so we have also a friendship worldwide. This is important also, okay? The Young Chemistry Award. This is a competition among young persons, and the winners are awarded biannually during the Congress of IUPAC. Okay? Usually there are 8 persons who will win such a prize, and they are awarded. This is a very good ceremony to see young people awarded by IUPAC worldwide, from America to South Africa to Japan to Europe also. So, publication, we published the Pure Applied Chemistry, is the journal which publishes a recommendation report, special topic and the lecture for symposium like this one, with a special issue dedicated to this symposium, will be published by Pure Applied Chemistry. Chemistry International, which is the magazine of IUPAC, book series, including compendia, etc., etc., international thermodynamic data, and other. So this is the IUPAC web page, so you can see all the information. Now we go in detail, we've finished it now. But how green chemistry fits the IUPAC goals? Are green chemistry good topic welcome in IUPAC? Yes, I think that we can see now why. So this is a picture of the cover of Chemistry International of a few years ago. Chemistry on the rise. It has actually occurred because you see that this is the IUPAC position paper presented 2 months ago in the Rio conference, Rio Plus 20. If you see that in the list of the work related to stable chemistry presented in Rio 2 months ago by IUPAC, 5 of the first 6 items here are related to green and sustainable chemistry. International Conference of Green Chemistry, like this one. synthetic pathways and processing green chemistry, symposium in print, white book on chlorine, chlorine-free synthesis for green chemistry, especially issue of March last month, March this year, book series of green chemistry in Africa, in Latin America, Professor Zunini mentioned it before, Arab region, in Russia, and the climate and climate change. A monography, secondary school, also translated also in Spanish and Portuguese. And so the topic fits very well with the aim of IUPAC, with the goal of IUPAC. Just to make an example, this is just, it's possible to see very well here, this is dark, sorry. This is the issue of Pure Applied Chemistry published in this March. It deals with the chlorine-free chemistry and is composed by 30 original papers dealing with different topics like this one, chlorine-free reagent, chlorine-free catalysts, carbonate chemistry, chlorine-free solvents, benign chloro-free methodologies, and the matrix of chlorine-free synthesis. But what I would like to stress now is the coming General Congress of IUPAC, which will be carried out next year in Istanbul. And would like you to encourage to attend such a congress, because as we see, the topics related is strongly correlated to green chemistry. In fact, you see that the preliminary program of the Istanbul Congress will deal with clean energy through chemistry, analysis, synthesis, chemistry, physical chemistry, environmental chemistry, green sustainable chemistry, chemistry education, and the chemical industry and the innovation. I would like just to show you very rapidly such a topic, clean energy through green chemistry, okay? A lot of thematic area, okay, which are of interest on clean chemistry. Then environmental chemistry, green sustainable chemistry, of course, we have a lot of thematic subject to deal with. Is here water, chlorine, carbon dioxide utilization, clean reagent products, new reaction pathways, organic synthesis, etc. Chemistry education, also. You will see here, chemistry education is important. And you will see there, particularly, green chemistry and environmental education. Then, last one, chemistry, industry and innovation. Also, this one is strictly connected with our thematic area. So, while I would like to encourage you to attend the Istanbul meeting, I'm like now to wish you good work and here for the Guangzhou, and to have, in order to disseminate the science and scientific information among the country here represented. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thanks, Professor Tundo. So, now, the next speaker is Professor Han, the President of the Subcommittee of Green Chemistry of IUPAC.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very happy today because I meet so many friends, old friends and new friends. First of all, on behalf of IUPAC Subcommittee on Green Chemistry, I would like to thank you for attending the conference and the great contribution to this conference. Okay. Thank you. So, also, I would like to thank the organizers for their hard and fruitful work, and also the sponsors and any organizations who has made contribution to this conference. As you know, the International IUPAC Conference on Green Chemistry is a series of conference that is a very important series of conference. It was initiated by Professor Petro Tundo, and the first, the second, and the third conference were held successfully in Germany, Russia, and Canada, and this is the fourth one. And I'm sure this conference will be very successful, and there will be many high-standard lecturers and posters to show recent achievements. It's also a very excellent platform for us to change our ideas for challenge and the future of green chemistry, a very interesting and a very promising field. I noticed that among the participants, there are many leading professors and engineers, and also there are many young researchers and students. So you are the future of green chemistry, and let's work together for this interesting, very important field. And I'm confident that this conference will be very successful, and let's enjoy the conference. Finally, I would like to mention that the next conference will be held in 2014. If anybody are interested in organizing this conference, you are welcome to apply at the subcommittee meeting tomorrow. The meeting will start at 4:30 p.m. tomorrow afternoon, 4:30 p.m. And you are welcome to apply for organizing the next conference. Finally, I thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thanks, Professor. Another person I'd like to call is Professor Sidney's, the chair of the Cameron Committee.
Thank you. That's good.
It's a privilege and a very great pleasure for me to be here on behalf of IUPAC and announce and hand over the 2012 Cameron 7 Prize for Atmospheric and Green Chemistry. This award ceremony takes place here at this prestigious conference because the guidelines for the prize suggests that this IUPAC Congress is the appropriate venue, which is indeed the case. The term Cameron in the name may probably need some clarification. You heard Professor Tundo mention it, and it's one of the standing committees of IUPAC. It's an acronym, of course. We have plenty of those in IUPAC. And Cameron is Chemical Research Applied to World Needs. The committee works, quote, to identify human needs amenable to solution through chemistry with particular attention to areas of global and multinational interest, unquote. Years back, one emerging need was chemistry of the atmosphere, its impact on global change, which today, of course, is a familiar topic, but which, at the end of the 80s, was in its infancy. And it was decided to organize a conference about this topic. This conference was called Cameron 7 and was held in Baltimore, United States in 1991. To the organizers' significant credit, the conference was a major success and generated a considerable surplus which made it possible to establish this prize. Quote, to be awarded to a young scientist under the age of 45 from a developing country contributing in the green field chemistry, emphasizing atmospheric chemistry, unquote. The first prize was given in 2010 to Dr. Noureddin Yassa from Algeria for his research in atmospheric chemistry. So when the prize this year is given for work emphasizing green chemistry, it's really in the spirit of the prize. The award comprises $5,000 in cash and a plaque signed by the IUPAC President Kaz Tatsumi, the IUPAC Secretary General René de Planck, and myself, and I'm chair of Cameroon Committee and therefore also chair of the Prize Selection Committee. The winner of the 2012 Cameroon 7 Prize is a she, who is recognized for her significant contributions in developing new methods and technologies for minimizing hazardous chemicals in all compartments of the environment. In this context, her research has focused on the application of both microbes and nanoparticles, and her work on biomimetic synthesis of nanoparticles using fungi and polysaccharides as reactants represents a new approach to find green solutions that are simple to implement and environmentally friendly. She has also contributed to improved wastewater remediation using green technologies based on biopolymers. In addition, the winner has engaged herself in a variety of outreach activities by writing articles and giving lectures, and thereby informing the chemical community, teachers and lay people in her home country about the need to embrace green chemistry as a platform for a common future. The winner was born and raised in India, where she also obtained her professional basic education at the University of Allahabad in the Uttar Pradesh province, where she graduated with a doctor's degree in 1994. She then started her career, which so far has included positions at academic institutions and at the Indian Institute of Technology in Kanpur, where she is currently employed as senior research scientist. Her work at these institutions has led to a significant number of publications in scientific journals in India and abroad, and also to several patents. Her wide scientific practice has developed a competence in a range of chemical disciplines, including organic synthesis, natural product chemistry, analytical chemistry, and nanochemistry, which she has applied with skill to change the development in her home country and abroad through green solutions. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me enormous pleasure to announce on behalf of the Prize Selection Committee that the winner of the 2012 Cameroon 7 Prize for Atmospheric and Green Chemistry is Rashmi Sanghi from India. I will ask Dr. Sanghi to come up on the podium to receive the prize.
Good evening, friends. I'm just at a loss of words. I'm really thankful to the IUPAC committee, the president, and the IUPAC members for having chosen me as the worthy recipient of this very, very prestigious award. Believe me, when I got the email from the executive director, IUPAC, Dr. Tenny Renner, I was like, I just couldn't believe it. I kept looking at the email. Is it true? And I was really overjoyed. I think I'm one of those lucky people who have got a recognition for the dream I have been, passionately pursuing. Ever since, I think some of the people present here, I owe my credit to them, and those people are not even aware that how much deeply I'm inspired by them. In 2002, I attended the 4th summer school, green chemistry summer school in Italy under Professor Tundo. And ever since then, there has been no looking back. That is the place where I learned the ABC of green chemistry. If one summer school can inspire young aspiring chemists like me to take it up, I think it can really make a big difference. It has been very, very motivating for me. I'm also thankful to Professor Paul Anastas. I'm sure he is meeting so many people every day, so many chemists, so many young scientists, that it's very difficult for him to remember most of them. But upcoming chemists, scientists, researchers like me, for us, it's very difficult to forget these eminent personalities who leave a mark on our career. He has been kind enough and has been encouraging me in many ways, and like I said, he would not be even aware of it. He has been very, very pushy for the green chemistry cause, and I am one example in front of you. I have another name I would like to say, Dr. Rajendra Verma. He has been extremely inspiring. When I say inspiring, does not necessarily mean that I have been kind of, working under that person, but these people really inspire you in many, many ways. So I would like to really thank them from the bottom of my heart for the kind of career and the path I have taken because of them. I'm most grateful to Dr. Lev Sidness, Chair of IUPAC Committee, of course, firstly for choosing me for the award and for inviting me over to this conference. He has been really kind enough to make sure that I am able to come here personally and receive this award. And he has just made everything very smooth sailing for me. I would like to thank Professor Vania Zoin, who I have been pestering, and I guess for the beautiful organization and management of the whole event. I would like to, of course, thank my parents, family, and friends. And lastly, I would like to thank my institute and IFS, International Foundation for Science, who have been able to fund my trip to Brazil and made sure that I'm able to receive this award in person. Thank you so much, friends. And I would just like to say, if you believe in green chemistry, please continue doing so. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Dr. Sangi, or Hashmi, as you told me. Yeah, thank you very much.